Hey everyone, I'm Hippa and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my Elissa Bubble Bag that I designed and made. Then I'm going to try to make the tutorial as step by step as possible, and you should be able to follow along with it and make your own. For the materials that you need for this project, you're going to need a crochet hook, you're going to need a yarn needle, and you're going to need 2 different colors of yarn. I used a white big twist yarn for the main section of it, and then for the trim around, I used Lion Brand Mandala yarn in like a corally color, and I used a 4.5mm hook. You can use any hook that fits your yarn. So this bag is made in 3 parts or panels. You're going to have your front and back panel, which are identical. You're just going to sew them together, and then you're going to have your strap. So it's only 3 parts that are going to be sewn together at the end. So now I'm going to show you how to make each of these 3 parts and how to connect them to make your Elissa Bubble Bag. So the first thing you're going to do is make a slip knot. I'm just showing you how I make mine. I make a loop with my finger and then put the string through to make another loop within that loop, if that makes any sense. It makes more sense in the visual. So after that, you're going to put your slip knot onto your hook. Then you're going to chain a multiple of 3. I chained 45 chains, and my bag is around a small medium size. It can fit pretty much everything I need it to. But if you want a bigger bag or a smaller bag, just chain more or less. Just always make sure it's going to be in the multiple of 3. So here I am just making my chains. Okay, so I'm done with my chains, and this is the size that I like it to be, and it's 45 stitches. Now you're going to make 1 extra chain. That's going to be your turning chain. After every row, you're going to make a chain. Then you're going to do a single crochet in each stitch. So just under that top loop there, you're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch until you get to the end of the row, starting with the very first one all the way to the very last one. So here I am making my single crochets all the way to the end. I'm going to speed it up, otherwise this video would be like 3 hours long. So I'm just making the single crochets, and I'll come back once I'm done with my row. I'm at the very end of my single crochet row. I'm going to make 1 chain. I'm going to flip over my work. I'm going to make 1 double crochet into that very first stitch. I'm going to yarn over and then put it into that very first stitch at the beginning. I'm going to yarn over, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over again, and pull through 2 loops. That's your first double crochet. Next, you're going to make a puff stitch. So you're going to yarn over twice, insert it into the second stitch, yarn over, pull it through. You're going to yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over again, pull through 2 loops. So you're going to yarn over twice again, put it into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over twice again. You're going to put it into that same stitch. You're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. That completes your very first puff stitch. I'm going to go over it again, but that's our first puff stitch. Next, you're going to make 2 double crochets. You're going to yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to make another double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, put it into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now you're going to make another puff stitch. You're going to continue puff stitch, 2 double crochets, puff stitch, 2 double crochets. So you're going to make yarn over twice, go into that next stitch, you're going to pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You're going to yarn over twice again, going to put it into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now that you have 3 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over twice again, insert it into that exact same stitch, yarn over, pull through. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now that you have 4 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over and pull through all of those 4 loops. That's your second puff stitch. Now you're going to make 2 double crochets again. So you're going to yarn over, insert it into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and you're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then you're going to yarn over, you're going to make another double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, put into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So you're going to continue this kind of pattern. You're going to do 1 puff stitch, then you're going to do 2 double crochets. So puff stitch, 2 double crochets, puff stitch, 2 double crochets until you get to the end of your line. So I'm going to go over how to do the puff stitch one more time. So you're going to yarn over twice. Then you're going to insert it into that next stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull it through. Then you're going to yarn over, pull through twice, yarn over, pull through twice, or 2 loops, sorry. Then you're going to yarn over twice again. You're going to put it into that same stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull through. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Next you're going to yarn over twice again for the last time. Then you're going to put it into that same stitch. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops again, and yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. So essentially you're just half finishing 3 triple crochets, and then at the end you're just going to pull the loop through all 3. So let's continue making 1 puff stitch and 2 double crochets, 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets, 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets until you get to the very last stitch on the row. So I'm just speeding this up a little bit so I don't have to have this video be too long, but I'm just going to speed up this process until I get to the very last one, then I'll stop. So my phone died as I was finishing the row, but on the very last stitch of the row, you're going to do 1 double crochet. So now we're done with our first puff row, and you see we just have a row of puff stitches. So what we're going to do next is we're going to chain 1 at the end of every row. Chain 1. So we're going to chain 1, make 1 single crochet in every single stitch. So basically we're just going to insert our hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. So we're just going to continue that till the end of the row. Again, I've greatly sped up this video so that it doesn't go over like 3 hours long, but I'm just making single crochets into each stitch. Okay, I finished our row of single crochets, and as you can see, it's just going to kind of continue this pattern. So single crochet, puff stitch row, single crochet, puff stitch row. So now I'm going to make my puff stitch row. Remember to chain 1 as you're starting off, then make 1 double crochet into that very first stitch, and then we're going to make our puff stitch. So just as a refresher, we're going to yarn over twice, finish in that next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then you're going to yarn over twice again, put in that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then one last time, we're going to yarn over twice, put into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. So next we're going to do 1 double crochet and then another double crochet. So we're just going to continue this pattern of 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets, 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets, 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets to get to the very last stitch. In the very last stitch will just be 1 double crochet. So this pattern is really repetitive. All you're going to do is just make 1 row of puff stitches, 1 row of single crochet, 1 row of puff stitches, 1 row of single crochet till you get to the very last row, which is going to be a row of single crochet. So you're just going to continue making 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets, 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets for all the puff stitch rows. And you're going to make 1 row of single crochets on top of that, and going to continue that until you can count up 10 rows of puff stitches. So you should just have something that looks kind of like this, a rectangle with these little puffy stitches on it. You're going to make 2 of these for both sides of the bag. My bag looks like this. Your bag may look a little bit different depending on your tension, but as long as it looks something along the lines of this, you should be good. So just make 2 rectangles of this puff stitch thing. So next you're going to need to turn these rectangles into what it looks like above. So that little curved edges on the sides. It kind of looks like a cat as you look at it, but it just gives the bag curved edges so that the strap holds better. So what we're going to do is make a slip knot and insert it at the very end. So basically just the very right of your project is where you're going to insert it. You're going to chain 1, then make 1 double crochet into that very first stitch. You're going to yarn over, put it through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2. Then you're going to make 1 puff stitch into the next stitch. So the same half finished treble crochets, pull through all. Next you're going to make 2 double crochets. Now you've made your first puff stitch double crochet combo. So now you're going to do that again 3 more times. So you're going to do 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets second time, 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets third time, 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets fourth time. After you've made 4 puff stitches and 2 double crochets next to them, you're going to make 1 half double crochet to finish that line. So you're going to just yarn over, put it through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now you're going to chain 1 and turn your work around. So you're going to skip 1 stitch and make 1 single crochet into each stitch until you get to the end of your line. After your last single crochet, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn your work. And you're going to make 1 double crochet, and then you're going to make 1 puff stitch. And you're going to make 2 double crochets. You're going to make 1 more puff stitch, and then 2 double crochets. Then the last stitch you're going to make in that row is going to be 1 half double crochet. And as always, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to turn your work. Then you're going to skip the very first stitch, and then single crochet into that second stitch. You're going to continue making single crochets until the end of the row. After your last single crochet, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work, and then you're going to make 1 double crochet into that very first stitch. You're going to make 1 puff stitch and 2 double crochets, and then 1 puff stitch, 1 double crochet, and then 1 half double crochet to end that row. At the end of the row, you're going to chain your 1 and you're going to skip 1 stitch and single crochet into every single stitch until you get to the end. At the end of the row, you're going to chain 1 and then make 1 double crochet into that very first stitch. You're going to make 1 puff stitch, and then you're going to make 2 double crochets after that. And then to end the row, you're going to make 1 half double crochet. At this point, the work should be kind of looking like this, a sort of triangle thingy. It shouldn't be like a perfect straight line, that's fine. It should be a little bit rigid, but that's what it should look like. You're going to pick up your work again and you're going to chain 1. You're going to turn the work, and you're going to skip 1 stitch and then make 1 single crochet in every stitch after that until the end. After your last single crochet, you're going to chain 1, you're going to fasten off. So you're going to cut the string or the yarn, you're going to pull out, and this is the end of that first side over there. The side should be looking like this right now, a sort of rigid triangle. It seems as if your triangle is going a bit outward. That's normal, that's just an illusion. It's not really going outward, it just seems like that because of the way the stitches are headed. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. You're going to turn your work around and you're going to work on the wrong side this time. It's going to turn out okay. It won't look like you worked on the wrong side, but you have to work on the wrong side. Otherwise, the triangles are all going to go in the same direction, if that makes any sense. So we're going to make a slip knot and then put it on our hook. And this, we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to be working on the back this time. So you're going to put your hook in there and then bring your slip knot through it. That's the pattern. Or that's the directions for the triangle. You're going to use the exact same thing with your double crochets, puff stitches, 2 double crochets, puff stitch, 2 double crochets, half double crochet to end it. And if you need to, you can always just rewind back when I was making the triangle in the video, and you can just repeat the same thing that we did last time. So you can always just rewind and rewatch it so you can see more in-depth instructions, but that's just what you're going to do. When you're done making your triangle, you can turn your work over back to the right side and it should look something like this. So you should have 2 little cat looking thingies, just a rectangle with 2 triangles at the very top. Now we're going to make the strap. So we're going to make a slip knot and chain a multiple of 3. I chained 99 because I really like a long strap because I made a short strap the other time. But you can make a shorter, you can just chain less to have a shorter strap. Or if you want a really long strap, you can always chain more. So I'm just going to make my chains for my strap. Here you're just going to play around with the length and see if that's the kind of length you want. I played around the front to see if I want a longer one or a shorter one. And that's just kind of how you figure out how you want your strap to be. The head up, mine turned out longer than it appeared over here. So it's longer than it seems. Just something to think about. Once you're sure about the length you want, you're going to chain 1. You're going to make 1 single crochet into every single stitch. So if you chain to 99 like me, you're going to have a lot of single crocheting to do. If you chain the shorter stitch over, it's going to be a little bit easier. So here I'm just speeding up over me just making my single crochets, and I'll be back after I'm done with my single crochet row. So I'm done with the single crochet row, and as always with this pattern, we're going to chain one, we're going to do 1 double crochet, and then you're going to do the 1 puff stitch, 2 double crochets until the end of the line, and you're going to end it with 1 double crochet. Okay, now we're done with the row. As you can see, it looks something like this. So you're going to do 1 chain 1 and single crochet 1 every stitch. You're just going to continue this pattern of this stitch until you get to the width that you want of your bag. So for this specific bag, we did 2 rows of the puff stitch single crochet. So we start with 1 single crochet row, then 1 puff stitch row, 1 single crochet row, 1 puff stitch row, and then ending it off with a single crochet row. So at the end, this is what the strap looks like for this bag. Now we have all the parts that we're going to use for this bag, so we're going to sew them all together now. At this point, you should have all these parts of the bag. You should have your 2 panels, your front and your back one. You have the strap that we just made. So what you're going to do is you're going to put both of the panels together, and you're going to sew along the line. So you're just going to sew both panels together. I sewed mine inside out so that the outside would be ugly. It wouldn't be ugly, it would look a lot cleaner, but you can sew any way you want. So this is how I sewed it. I just put them together along, and I sewed along the insides. So this is me sewing. I'm going to just leave it like as a visual so you can see how I'm sewing them together. I'm going to come back once I'm done with sewing that line. So I'm all the way at the top. I've sewn together. Now you can see it forms a curve of a triangle at the very top. So I've sewn this together. What you're going to do is you're going to continue sewing along the edges. I put my strap next because I was sewing everything inside. So I put my strap next so that I would be able to close it. So what I did is I sewed them together, then I did the strap, and then on the other side I sewed them again, and then I attached the strap, sewing on the inside the whole time. It doesn't matter what order you do it in, this is just the order that I do inside. So I'm going to leave it as a visual for you to see exactly how I did mine, and you can just do yours however you feel like doing it. Now after you're done sewing, the bag should look like this, just a plain sort of carrier bag kind of thing. It shouldn't, this is exactly what it should look like right now. It can look a little bit different, but this is like the main idea. So for neatening is to just make the edges a bit nicer and to add in our frilled edges. So I used this ombre yarn. I only used the pink part though because I wanted it to be pink. You can use any color yarn, any type of yarn. You can use a different kind of yarn from what you started off with. I started off with some big twist, not super saver, some big twist yarn from Joann's, but I ended up adding on the Lion Brand Mandela. So it doesn't really matter what yarn you use, just make sure you know you use the right hook size. So what you're going to do is make a slip knot and put it on. You put your hook through the hole and then put it through your slip knot. You're going to bring your slip knot through, and you're going to make 1 single crochet in every single stitch until you get to the end of your bag. So you're going to go all the way through. You're going to go up the sides all the way through the strap. You're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch until the very end. I'm leaving this up as a visual so that you can see what I'm doing, and I'll come back once I'm done making my single crochets. I'm at the very end of my row, so I've finished making my single crochets, so I'm back at the very beginning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook into that very first stitch that I made and make a slip stitch. After that, you're going to turn your work over. This was our very first side. You're going to turn your work over, do the exact same thing, making 1 single crochet into every stitch on the other side. So I've done that, and this is what my work looks like. Now I have both sides are completely single crocheted. If you don't like frilled edges, you can just leave the bag like this with the knee and edge, but I'm going to now show you how to make the frilled edges that I added in the bag video. To make the frilled edge, you're going to skip 1 stitch and make 6 double crochets into the very next stitch. 6 double crochets into that exact same stitch. So after you skip 1, the very next stitch, you're going to make 6 whole double crochets into that stitch. And remind you, these are not puff stitches. These are 6 complete double crochets. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You're going to do that for 6 times into the very same stitch. At the end, you should have this kind of circle kind of thing. That's going to be our fill. So we're going to skip 1 stitch, and you're going to make 1 single crochet into the stitch after you skip 1 stitch. Then you're going to skip 1 stitch again and make 6 double crochets into the next stitch after that. So you're just going to continue a pattern of skipping 1 stitch, making a single crochet, skip 1 stitch, make 6 double crochets, skip 1 stitch, make a single crochet, skip 1 stitch, make 6 double crochets. So remember, all the 6 double crochets in the very same stitch, and you're skipping after every stitch that you do. So if you single crochet, you're going to skip 1 before you make your 6 double crochets. After that, you're going to skip 1 before you make a single crochet. After that, you're going to skip 1. That's what you're going to continue doing until you get to the very end of the bag. This should be easy because you made single crochets all around already. So this should just be easy putting them in and getting them out. When you've completed your pattern all the way, you're going to make 1 slip stitch into the very first stitch that you made. And that is it for the frilled edges. You're just going to do that pattern and repeat it all the way to the end. You're going to make 1 slip stitch. So you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to make the frilled edge thing on both sides for it to match. Or if you want, you can leave one side neat, one side frilled. But I made both sides frilled. Now you're going to fasten off, and you're going to weave in all the ends of everywhere. I weaved in my end right into that very frill so that it does not unravel at all. Everybody has different ways of weaving ends, but that's how I just weaved in my end for this bag. And you're done. Your bag should look very cute. You should just have a nice little bag with a frilled edge, or if you want a neater edge, you have a neat edge. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and I hope this bag worked out for you, and I hope it does what you wanted it to do. If you do happen to make this bag and you want to share, please add me at HippoCrochet on Instagram so I can share and I can see it. And lastly, if you did enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked it and commented or subscribe to my channel so you can see more of these. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, month, year, everything in general. Bye.